come on in. It's Shay Lifetime Story, and I'm back here again. And so today I am here to do a live where we will be doing a deep dive into trauma issues connected to finding stillness. Okay, so today I want to talk about a couple different topics regarding the importance of finding stillness and why can certain what trauma issues can you have that could be blocking you from finding stillness, or participating in finding time for yourself. Okay, so one of the first things I wanted to talk about is realizing where you need to detach from certain things in your life that could be blocking you from understanding the way things may be working for you. Okay, so over here I actually have my card set up where I will be getting certain topics that we'll be talking on regarding the trauma bonding. And so the first card we have is divine timing. Okay, and with divine timing we have on there, wait for it. Okay, so in divine timing, it's always a need for you to stay within the moment, to be patient and finding patience with yourself and whomever you're trying to co-create things with, and also being in this space where you realize that not all the time the things that you may be trying to create or trying to bring into this reality, it may not work in a way that you may seen it, but it may work in a faster reality if you just surrender, right? So the next card we have is, how can I help you? Service. So with this card, for me, it's significant about allowing yourself to receive help. Like I said before, for things to happen for you in divine timing, sometimes it is very important that you allow people outside of you to connect to what it is that you're doing. Allow people outside of you to involve themselves into what it is that you guys may have in common. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about is let me get my notes together. Okay, so I have notes here, that's why I'm looking down. So for today, like I said, I wanted to talk about trauma issues. All right, one thing we have to understand, in order to go back and heal certain trauma issues that you may have, it do take bravery, it take honesty, and it take a clear knowing within self that you actually do need help. Okay, like I said before, the card we have out is surrendering and asking for help, asking for service, or asking for people outside of you to help you figure out what it is that you may be needing to fix. So like I said before, the topic we're talking about is finding stillness. Why is it so hard for you guys to spend more time by yourself trying to figure out what it is that you may desire, what it is that you feel like you want to spend more time in doing? If you may be coming across a point in your life where you may be feeling like things are not fitting for you, or things may not be working for you in a way that is comfortable, you have to understand that not there is no one thing that is going to fit every single person. The thing that may work for me, the path or the avenue that may work for me when it comes to me finding stillness, when it comes to me finding solitude within myself, it may not work for you. But my goal is to share the things that I use as a tool that can help me kind of find a space within my life where I can find a significant amount of time where I can say, okay, you know what, I'm going to spend this time diving deep into this. So for example, when I always ask people that I talk to about finding solitude or finding time for yourself, I always ask, what are some things that you do to spend time with self? Sometimes spending time with self doesn't require like you going outside of your comfort zone to do different things, but it's a lot about tapping into your inner child. So that's one of the first thing I tell people to do, is tap into your inner child. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome on in, welcome on in. So when you're tapping into the inner child, it's very important to pay attention to what is it that you desired when you were a child. Um, okay, what's good? Okay, how you doing? All right, so when you're tapping into the inner child, it's very important for you guys to be aware of what is it that you desire. If you were someone who was into like coloring or painting or designing, maybe you were into planting, you like to plant different seeds or herbs so that you can grow different things, tap back into that as an adult. It's very important that you find time to create things. I think it's important for us to take actions to go out and do things for ourselves, but it's also important for us to hello to all who's coming in. Welcome on in, welcome on in. Thank you for stopping by. So today we're talking about trauma issues and the importance of finding stillness. So I'm now talking about issues that you could be going through, that could be causing you not to pay attention to finding stillness. But I feel like during the time, what? No, I don't get into anything regarding religion, okay? So we're not talking about religion tonight. What I'm talking about today doesn't really have nothing to do with anything regarding that. But what I'm talking about, it is based on what you believe in. What is it that you want to focus on? Is what is blocking you from finding time for you to find peace? Finding peace, or just even finding time for you to surround yourself with like-minded people, people who's going to bring light into your life. It's very important that you spend time reflecting on things that reconnects you back into source or divine. Okay, it's very important that you allow yourself to trust in your own divine guidance and allow yourself to heal those parts of yourself that you do feel like is not easily open or shared with others. So one thing, like I said before, it's very important for you guys to, just find time where you can share time with yourself, where you could commit to being there and being aware of. Okay, thank you, I appreciate you. Thank you, baby. But you make me lose my train of thought. Thank you for your compliment. But like I was saying, it's important for you to pay attention to your very deep attachment. Pay attention to the things that you are attached to that may bring you pain. So for example, when I was coming up with the idea of talking about this topic today, one of the people that I was listening to that was bringing up a little bit of things about this, he was speaking on a moment in his life where he had felt like he was dealing with an issue of like racial comments, and I guess it affected him in a way where it triggered down to him carrying on those wounds or those emotions into his life, where he is now an adult and he still carry this grudge or this energy or this trauma behind feeling some type of way when someone may decide to like call him out of his name or call him by a certain type of color. Now, the reason that he brought that up was because he realized that even from him being a child, 5-6 years old, he was still carrying that energy as an adult, where if somebody called him those names or said those things to him, he reacted into his child nature. That's why I say it's so important to tap in with your child nature and see where your childlike energy within you is, so that you could be aware of what is it that your inner child truly desire. Because there within our inner child, the inner child is always craving or desiring more, but if it feel like it is being blocked or stagnant, it can put itself in a place where it will begin to start. We will begin as an adult or as a young older people, if you older than 30-40 years old or 25 and up, you will begin to start acting in your childlike nature, where you could have been 10 years old, 15 years old, and you are responding back to people in ways where you don't know how to have common conversation. You don't know how to find time in solitude by yourself. You don't know how to find time in being in separation or being in a space where you can serve yourself. One thing I always tell people is, you cannot serve others when you're not in a space of serving yourself. And that's being in a space where you can find time to just listen to you. What is it that you desire? I was listening also, I listen to a lot of like different podcasts and lectures that talk about different things, and this lady was talking about how she spent one of her days just laying around in the bed, spending time laying around in the bed and engaging into journaling or coloring or whatever. And she genuinely just spent a whole day doing that, while the next day she got up and she prepped for her content, she prepped for her food, her dinner, in her house for her family. And with her doing that, it allowed her to, like I said before, find stillness and find a space or a path where she could truly choose where it is she want to put her energy. Sometimes when your energy is in the overload, where you have spent so much time putting your focus on so many different things, or you're working, or you're trying to create a business for yourself. Maybe you're a parent, so you got children, or you're a parent, you got children, or you're in school or whatever. Sometimes that can drain your energy. But if you're not in a space where you could spend time within yourself and just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to put down all of those responsibilities that I have, and I'm just going to focus on me. Whether that is you taking time for a bubble bath, or you're taking time to go to the park and do some form of grounding. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I know I always talk to y'all about doing yoga, doing some form of movement, some form of breath work. It's very important that you're being intentional when it comes to taking breath, sitting down with yourself and making sure that you're being intentional when it comes to like how you're breathing, your level of oxygen level, when it comes to your conscious. Because the thing is, we fail to realize the way that we respond in life is based on how we're processing things within our organs in our body. So if your body doesn't have the right amount of oxygen flowing through it, within your brain, through certain organs, through certain nerves and stuff like that, you're not able to respond to people in a what I would like to say the most logical way. So for an example, say, you know, if you're someone who could be under the influence of whether you are engaging into some type of psychedelics or drugs, or you're engaging into some type of drinks, liquor or something like that, 9 times out of 10 people ask you, when they ask you to respond to them for something, it's kind of hard for them to get a response out of you if you're under the influence, because of the influence you're under. So sometimes your words may come out with a slur, your words may come out not as clearly, or you may not even know how to answer the question based on where your mind is. That's why it's so important to make sure, like I said before, how are you feeling? Being intentional about it. Are you under the influence? Are you taking too much? Because when you respond to people or you're engaging in people, you need to come from a space where you are at peace within self, that you don't have to respond in a rage. You don't have to take action to respond very quickly, nor do you have to take action to respond, you know, slow. You know, you just want to be in a space where things are working at ease with you, okay? So with that, if you guys want to add, you definitely can add your own viewpoint to it as well. We're talking about trauma issues regarding stillness, okay? So if you want to add any of your viewpoints to it, you're definitely more than welcome, and we could talk about it as well. So one thing I wanted to talk about is, this year is the year of 9, all right? And with this year being a year of 9, it is ruled, 9 is ruled by the Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So this year is going to be filled with expansion, all right? So everything will be like, what I would like to say, something we will want to dive more deeper into, okay? So look forward to, I always tell y'all, my channel, we're going to be talking about a little bit of everything on here, because y'all know I like to come on here and just engage into a little bit of different things that I've learned or I've spent a lot of time in engaging in, all right? So one thing with the 9 year, like I said, it's going to be a lot of detaching and rebirthing, okay? The 9 deals with rebirth after a detachment, okay? It's the cycle of understanding that nothing can die out. It's only reborn into something new, or in a different form, okay? Energy can never die. It's only rebirthed into something different, okay? So I think that's gonna be it for today, all right? I hope this helped you all understand that trauma bond, it takes an individual person to take action to heal those issues. If you're looking forward to doing anything regarding trauma bonding, I'm going to be doing more videos on how to do forms of disconnecting from trauma bonding, doing different forms of programming mentally, because I think I first like to start with the mental mind of why do we even attach to certain things, because a lot of times we only feel like things are a trauma to us based on how our mind connect to it. So when your mind is in a state where it feels like something is familiar, and the only thing it can remember is being attached to it because something negative, it is up to you to break away from that mentality. Your mind doesn't know what is good or bad. It only knows what you focus on. So if you want your mind to pop up more ideas where it's dealing with connecting to bonds where you are seeing things more positive and more clear, you want to be able to make room for that. Make room to find time to detach from those things that are not allowing you to see things different, that is not allowing you to master the way you actually want to see your life, okay? So I think that is all, you guys, and I'm going to see you all on the next deep dive with Shay. All right, I'll see you guys later. Mwah.